Burnout happens. It's not a sign that you failed in life, it's just life. It's what happens when you keep running the same tired instance of yourself over and over again without patching any bugs. But here's the catch: burnout does not mean the world stops. The laundry list still exists. Your inbox still breeds like rabbits, and the cat is still knocking stuff off the counters. Life has a never ending task queue, and it's not going to auto drain just because you need a nap. So instead of trying to power through like a lone hero in a bad disaster movie, we are going to scale you like a distributed system with tools, tricks, delegation, and automation. Because the goal isn't to do nothing, it's to make sure that the right things get done without overloading your one and only CPU. Your brain is basically a single core processor running a legacy code that you inherited from your childhood habits, high school coping mechanisms, YouTube productivity hacks that you half implemented at 2 a.m. Most of us live as if our brain is the only processing unit in the whole system. Every work request gets routed to you, every household decision routes to you, every social plan routes to you, and that's fine until life throws multiple curveballs all at once. A work deadline with zero buffer, family emergency that eats your whole week, a surprise plumbing issue that turns your bathroom into a koi pond, and because you have no load balancing, you end up doing a human equivalent of the blue screen of death, staring at a wall for 17 minutes, holding a cup of coffee, wondering if you've already brushed your teeth today. Scaling yourself is all about avoiding total downtime. Not pretending your life stops, but building systems so you're no longer the single point of failure. Step 1: load balancing your life. Somehow you become the designated person for everything. Family birthday party, you're the one making the spreadsheet. Friend's new apartment, you're there with the tape measure. A random, hey, can you just do me a favor? That text shows up at 8:42 p.m. like clockwork, right between, why am I still at work? And I should really be eating a vegetable. At first, it feels nice. You're useful, you're dependable, but slowly you realize this isn't community, this is conscription. Because without a way to share the load, every single thing gets routed to you, whether or not you're the one who needs to be doing it. And here's why it happens: asking costs them 5 seconds, saying yes costs you 5 hours. You're not their favorite, you're the path of least resistance. How I fixed it was with one simple rule: if I don't have to be the person doing it, I'm not going to be the person doing it. That meant saying yes only to things where my actual skills or my body needs to be in the room. And if not, I'm pointing them elsewhere. I started putting the boring and the repetitive stuff on autopilot. 90% of my groceries are on a recurring order. Bills, autopay. Even the toothpaste is on a schedule now. And when something wasn't urgent, I stopped treating it like it was. It went into my parking lot list where it could live quietly instead of screaming at me while I was trying to live. The result: people figured out that I wasn't the only human capable of booking a table or buying cupcakes. And I stopped ending every week feeling like an unpaid project manager for my entire social circle. And let me tell you, there's no worse role in life than an unpaid project manager. The budget is zero, the scope is infinite, and the stakeholders are drunk arguing about karaoke. Step 2: horizontal scaling. I'll just work harder used to be my solution to everything. Trip plan, I'll do it. Big family dinner, sure. Onboard a new teammate, add it to my pile. The problem is, when you're the only one who knows how to do something, you'll always be the one doing it. You're not an expert. You are a bottleneck, the human equivalent of a jammed printer. So I started horizontal scale, making more copies of the knowledge that I have, so I wasn't a single point of failure. I wrote down the steps for anything that needs repeated. Packing lists, monthly budgets. Then I turned those steps into reusable templates. A grocery list that covers 90% of whatever I buy. A packing guide that works in the summer and the winter. Most importantly, I taught one other person how to do the things I always get stuck with. My partner now knows where the spare batteries are. My friend has the Airbnb login. Knowledge is shared, responsibility is spread, and I am no longer the sole librarian of collective chaos. Now, instead of running every process forever, sometimes I just show up like a guest in my own life. And do you know how magical that feels? It's like being invited to your own wedding instead of you having to run the seating chart. Step 3: failover planning. Things will go wrong. That is not pessimism, that's physics. A meeting runs long and you miss the doctor's appointment. A flat tire nukes your whole afternoon. Dinner burns when you're answering a quick email that turns into an hour-long boss monologue. New me has backups. I keep a bare minimum dinner for the nights when the kitchen is closed for business. Trader Joe's frozen section for the win. Are these glamorous? No. Are they survival? Absolutely. And when you plate them in your fanciest bowl, they're technically fine dining. I block out a couple of hours of nothing time every week because if you schedule everything at 100% capacity, one delay will destroy your whole week like a Jenga tower. The buffer is what keeps the system bending instead of breaking. And I've already decided the first thing I'll drop when things get overloaded. Fancy meal prep, gone. Optional meeting, deleted. The bills, the meds, the cat, those stay. Deciding in advance means that I don't panic triage when things are on fire. When something fails, it's not chaos, it's just we are switching to plan B, and plan B is already waiting, warmed up, and ready to go. Step 4, monitoring and observability. Burnout does not hit like a meteor, it creeps like slow Wi Fi. Everything technically still works, but it's so laggy that you want to throw the router out the window. For me, the signals are obvious. Skipping lunch just to finish the thing, ignoring texts with a confident lie, I'll reply later. Looking at my to-do list and realizing it's longer than the CVS receipt. Now, instead of waiting for the crash, I check my system every day. How's my energy? How's my mood? What's slipping? If two of those three are red, I know next week has to be lighter. I also watch my lagging indicators. Too much takeout, half-empty mugs on the desk, waking up already tired. Those are my warning lights. And when they flash, I act. Cancel one thing, shift the load, reset. Because observability is not about being perfect. It's about catching the cracks before the wall caves in. My personal metric is simple. More than 3 coffee mugs on the desk means I'm at 100% CPU. If one of those mugs has yogurt in it, that's a Sev 1 incident. Load balancing stopped every request from hitting me. Horizontal scaling stopped me from reinventing the wheel. Failover planning made sure that the chaos did not take me down with it. And monitoring let me catch the burnout before the target parking lot meltdown. That's how you scale yourself, like a distributed system. Not to do everything, but to stop being the single point of failure for your own life. Because burnout happens, life keeps loading, the task queue is infinite, but with the right mix of tools, delegation, and dumb little automation, you can keep the system from running without cooking the server. So here's your action plan. Distribute the chaos, automate the nonsense, and if you've laughed, nodded, or realized that you might be an unpaid project manager for your entire family, congratulations, you're one of us now. Go leave a comment about your favorite personal system crash, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And remember, you can't scale chaos, but you can distribute it.